sometimes we feel disconnected. We feel totally out of control and disoriented. That's when life gets lifey. In order to get organized, we need to draw our awareness in to feel a connection, to feel engaged, to feel curiosity, to feel energetic. And this practice is for those times where you want to reconnect, to re-engage, and you need that energetic quality to make the shift. We'll begin standing. Stand at the top of the mat. Feel rooted as you draw from the pelvis down toward your feet. Feel your feet engage fully. Draw from the feet up to the pelvis, out through the crown of the head. Reach your arms up and back. Take your hands down to the earth and step your right foot back. Bring your right knee down. Take your hands right above the left knee and reach up. In this practice, we'll be doing lots of back bending to open up the upper chest in order to reconnect, to re-energize. You can release your hands down to the mat. Step your back foot forward. Place your hands to your low back and rise up. Reach up again and back. Exhale, take your hands to the earth. Step your left foot back. Bring your left knee down. Hands to the top of the knee. Settle in. Reach up. Take the hands wide apart. Reach back fully. Release your hands down. Step your back foot forward. Take your hands to your low back and rise up. Come to tadasana. Breathe in deep. Breathe out long. Feel this engagement from the earth you draw in toward the pelvis. From the fingertips you draw in toward the heart. Maintaining that. Take your arms up and back. Take your hands to the earth. Step back to come to all fours position. In all fours position, with your toes tucked under, to keep the legs engaged, draw forward slightly, come to 8-point pose with the chest right between your hands. With your chin forward. With your pelvis lifted, draw your heart forward, baby cobra. Come to your fingertips, rise up. Soften. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, soften. One more. Inhale, pulse up. Exhale, soften. Come to all fours position. With your toes tucked under, reach back. Bow. Just honor this time you're giving yourself to reconnect, to re-energize, to refocus. And through that, you feel like you're organizing things. You have curiosity. Your mind becomes so much more alert. Your focus is on your breath and finding fullness in your body through the breath and finding a solid foundation. Come up to all fours position. On the in-breath, draw your chin up, let your heart melt toward the earth. Now inhale, lift From your navel back toward your spine, release your head down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Take your shoulders slightly forward. Take your heart right between your hands. Now draw your heart forward as you take your thighs down and rise up. Exhale, soften. 2 more times. Inhale, pulse to rise up. Exhale, soften. 1 more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, soften. Come to all fours position again with your toes tucked under. Reach back. Keep your armpits lifted. Breathe in deep. Out long. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. Breathe out long. Make your way to downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, lift your right leg up, bend your right knee, lift it high. Step your right foot right between your hands. Keep your left hand where it is. Take your right hand to your low back. Reach your right arm up. Take it over your head. Breathe in. Expand the side body. Breathe out long. Release your hand down. Step back to downward facing dog. Lift your left leg high. Bend your left knee. Open by creating a little bit more space on the right side of your ribs. You're lifting the right side of ribs even as you get this nice full stretch on the left. Step your left foot right between your hands. Keep your right hand to the mat. Take your left hand to the low back. Twist. Reach your left arm up. Reach it over. To feel energized, you need this nice fullness in the area of the heart. So we're stretching through the right side and the left side ribs to create a feeling of length and spaciousness in the upper thoracic area. Now release your left hand down. Step your back foot forward. Place your hands to your low back. Rise up. Pause in tadasana. Breathe in deep. Out long. Breathe in, reach up and back. Breathe out, take your hands down to the mat. Step back to all fours position again. In all fours position, 8-point pose. Shoulders come forward, heart draws down to the earth. Now scoot forward to take the thighs down, rise up, soften down. 2 more, lift up and down. 1 more, lift up and down. Come to all fours position. Draw way back. Keep your armpit and elbows lifted. With your toes tucked under, work your toes very firmly as a way to build the arches in your feet. Draw your pelvis back. create spaciousness in the back body with all the organs kind of in this contracted space. Let your breath facilitate this nice fullness, this nice connection to the back body. Inhale, come up to all fours and downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. With your feet hip distance apart, bend your knees. Place your hands right above your knees. Straighten your arms. Draw your heart forward, lift your chin. Exhale, look in toward your heart. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Reach your arms up. Take the hands wide apart. Draw a little bit deeper down so the thighs are coming toward, parallel to the earth. Now take your right hand to the outer left knee. Open your chest nicely. Back to the center position. Take your left hand to the outer right knee. Open up. You feel so connected as you feel more spaciousness in the right side and the left sides of the body. Come back to the center position. Now take the hands to the mat. Walk your hands up toward the front of the mat. Now walk your feet up to the front of the mat. Place your hands to your low back and rise up. Stand in tadasana. Breathe in deep. Breathe out long. Now come to a wide stance with your feet parallel to each other, facing the long edge of the mat. Draw your right toes out, bend your right knee. Take your right forearm to the top of the thigh. You get this nice lifting quality with the head of the left arm back. The upper chest opens nicely. Reach your left arm up and over. To lengthen through the side body. And root down to rise up. Come to the opposite side. Right toes turn in, left out. Bend your left knee. Take your left forearm down. And get this nice fullness to the right side of the body while still lifting the heart, finding fullness to the breath. Finding this connection just through the practice as you connect to the earth and pull your feet isometrically in toward each other to get a nice engagement of the inner thighs. Can you keep that engagement as you lift up through the back leg to come out of the pose and release your hands. Turn your right toes out. Bend your right knee again. Virabhadrasana number 2, warrior pose number 2. Just create this pose of strength. From the strength of the back leg, can you drop a little bit deeper in the front leg? Keeping that, turn your palms up so that you've got this nice opening of the upper chest. Reach back. Take your right arm over your head. Get this nice fullness to the side body. Reach down a little bit deeper on the left side. Take your breath to expand the right side. Find fullness in the breath. Rise up to come out of the pose. Come to the left side. Turn your left toes out. Pull in from the front foot to the back foot. So both legs are so engaged, and bend your front knee. This warrior pose shows so much strength and fortitude. You feel so engaged, so energetic in the pose. Can you drop just a little bit deeper through the strength of the back leg, the front thigh, just releases just a little bit more. Turn your palms up, reach back, reach over. Find fullness to the breath. Reach just a little bit further down toward the back foot. And rise up to come out of the pose. Parallel your feet. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Press the knuckles to the low back. Draw down. For some of us, bending the knees really allows you to get just a little bit more opening or engagement in this pose. You feel just a little bit more organized in the actions of your legs by pulling the feet in toward each other. Now lift your interlaced fingers up toward the sky. Stay connected with your breath. Place your hands to your low back. Press your flesh down to rise up and come out of the pose. Step your feet hip distance apart. We'll balance now, and for some of us, balancing might mean being near the wall or a chair or a counter. So if that's the case, find a place where you can feel comfortable in the pose so that we can continue this work of opening the upper chest. So see if you can get rooted through the right leg by just shifting your weight over to the right leg. So it feels like the right foot is your foundation. Feels like the left foot is hardly bearing any weight. As you're ready, you can lift up your left leg, draw it in for lots of hip flexion. Keep your left leg active by spreading your toes, lifting your toes up toward your shin. Now slide your left hand on the shin or the ankle or the top of the foot. Give the front of the thigh a nice stretch. Can you reach your right hand forward and just come to this feeling where you're opening your chest nicely. You don't have to draw yourself fully into the pose, but just get some form of the pose that feels like you're creating this nice elongation from the pelvis to the left knee, and yet a nice opening in the upper chest. Now come out of the pose, release your left foot down, and pause. When you do these yoga poses, it just brings you into such acute awareness. You become really curious about your body. You start to notice differences on the right side compared to the left side. You start to notice when your breath is full, when you're engaged, both in the legs and the arms. And just by making those observations, just by being curious, you're able to really come back to yourself. When life gets lifey, you engage, you get organized. So take your weight to your left leg, and with the nice resilient quality of the left leg, see about taking the right foot away from the earth and lift your right knee up. And as you're ready, hold on to the shin or the foot or the ankle. Get a nice stretch to the thigh. As you're ready, you can reach your left arm forward. Take your right foot back. Let's get this nice fullness to the chest. Nice stability to the standing leg. You're reaching your right foot back. It's getting this nice opening to the upper chest. Nice engagement. A nice engagement both of the lifted leg and the standing leg. And you can slowly release out of the pose. And once again, come to a wide stance. In your wide stance, turn your right toes out, reach your arms up. Come to Virabhadrasana 2 that we did before. In Parsvakonasana, where the hand is all the way down to the outside of the ankle, or if you wish, a block. You can pivot on your back leg to step the back foot forward and lift up the back leg. See if you can lift it high. Just like we did in the last balance pose. Draw your left knee in so fully toward your chest so that you can easily grab hold of the ankle and open your chest nicely. Just get this nice fullness in the pose. Keep the action of the last pose in this pose. Now, reach your left foot back. Bend your front knee. Come back to the pose that we were in, Parsvakonasana. Root down to lift yourself out of the pose. And let's come to the opposite side. So as you start in Virabhadrasana number 2, take your left hand down, reach your right arm over your head, lift your back heel up, and step into the full form of the pose. First, draw your right knee in. From Ardha Chandrasana, you get this nice back bending, opening of the pose. Nice thigh stretch as you hold on to your right ankle. And you get this nice fullness. You can release out of the pose. Come back through Parsvakonasana. To rise up and parallel your feet. Release your hands down to the mat with your left hand to the low back. Turn your heart. Release your left hand down. With the left hand down, take your right hand to the low back. Turn your gaze to the opposite side. If you feel like you're losing that connectedness with the legs, then bend your knees. Take the inner thighs back and apart. Get this nice opening of the chest. Release your hands down. Now heel toe your feet in toward each other. Bend your knees. Come to a squat pose with your hands in prayer position. Keeping that, allow your pelvis to rest down. Now slowly make your way to lie on the mat with your knees bent. With the feet hip distance apart. With your elbows pressing firmly down, palms facing each other. Inhale and lift your pelvis high. Exhale and slowly release the pelvis toward the mat, but not on the mat. Take your right leg up. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Exhale, take the pelvis toward the mat, not on the mat. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, draw down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, draw the pelvis toward the mat, not on the mat. Take your right foot down. Now lift your pelvis high again. Draw your pelvis down toward the mat, not on the mat. Take your left leg up. Draw your toes toward your shin bones to keep the leg very engaged as you lift high. Draw the pelvis down. Lift up. Draw down. Lift up. Draw down. Again, lift up and draw down. Release your left foot. Have a nice fullness to your bridge pose. Nice engagement to the legs after using one leg to lift up and the other. Feel how powerful the legs can be in this pose. Pull in from the heels to the heart. And release your pelvis down. Release your arms. Extend your legs. Close your eyes. Receive your breath. Breathe in deep. Breathe out long. Breathe in deep. And out long. Breathe in deep. And out long. Notice how the practice can take you from a place of disorientation, a place where you feel so disconnected, to a place where you're energized. You feel connected. You feel engaged. Keep that engagement through your focus to the breath. Thank you for joining me in this practice. Namaste.